right? Blueprints in Chestertown.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
This is the smallest town we've been in.
The smallest county in the state of Maryland.
Facts.
Yeah. We float around 20,000 people since the Civil War. It hasn't changed.
Man.
That number stays right about there.
Man. So, obviously we didn't find you. It's actually Yvng Swag who found you.
Yes.
And who, for all intents and purposes, tapped you guys and said, look, they're doing great work. And so we're here. We're here because we want to know the man behind the nonprofit. We want to know. We want to know about, right? Because what are we here for, right? We're a nonprofit. I know that we do a lot of production, and and it's a way for us to take a different spin on nonprofits. But we really do want to tackle nonprofits in a different way.
Right.
We want to be able to. Right, there's always this polar opposite. It's either you give nonprofits money with no advice and no blueprint,
right.
Wink, wink, or you give them nothing but paper advice and strategies with no money to kind of fund and implement that.
That's correct as well.
Right.
Yes.
So what we're doing, and which what we believe makes us just very different in the sector, is that we're combining the two. We're giving the money and we're giving you a strategy. And we're moving away from like fixing things and renovation, and we're like, listen, we don't know how to run your business.
Right.
But what we do want to do is teach you things that we know about finance. So here we are. And we want to know, without getting too much into the financial part of it, but we want to know about Bayside Hoyas.
Yes.
Tell us how it started.
So this program started in February of 2013 with myself and two childhood friends of over 25 years, Paul 2 and Pierre 2. They have lived on the Eastern Shore 15 years before I even knew this existed. It was just fate to have it. I was in the inner city of DC doing what I was doing as a young black man in the inner city. Came to visit and wound up staying off that visit. I wound up staying here because it's here in King County, it's a subtlety of peace that you don't always get in the inner city. Like one of the big adjustments was getting used to not hearing police sirens or gunshots. You know what I mean? Or people arguing next door, or people outside arguing. So, things like that. But we just noticed the void in our community. When we were young, but I'll speak mainly for myself. When I was young, I played a part in tearing the community up. You know what I mean? I was wild. I got a lot of exposure to things at a young age that you should not be exposed to. And you build yourself into a certain way to adapt and to survive that. And then you come out here, those traits don't go away, but they're not needed as much. So I had to refocus that. And what I wound up doing with myself, Paul and Pierre, we wound up thinking about the youth and the void here. Because when we first came out here, you see the poverty out here. Like, I grew up poor, but this is a different type of poor. And they don't know it. So that was a problem. And then the youth had no hope, no desire. They always were in a state of negativity or despair. For a middle school kid, that's shocking. You shouldn't be in the 6th grade and feel like, I'm not gonna be nothing in life. Where did that train of thought come from? And then you start paying attention to maybe that's kid's parents. Oh, his parents not there, or her parents are there. Then you gotta look at the grandparents, then you gotta look at this and that. And then we just seen a whole dichotomy of a community that needed help. And we stepped in and just filled that void with a lot of programming and a lot of things that, normal communities in need.
Right. You said God afforded you this ability to go out and be able to make this money and this notoriety to be able to come back and do good in your own community.
Yeah,
that's
of course.
So important.
Yeah. It's nothing like Kent County. This is Chestertown, and the reason why is I never thought that I would be able to make it out being from here. I always thought I would have to move. And, I proved myself wrong by just, getting up and really just doing the work, putting the work in and seeing where it could take me, and really studying the craft and really just perfecting it like that. And it's now at this point, it's really all on you. It's, if you want to be something, you just got to go out there and do it.
Right. Well, and it also serves as a shining example to other kids that it can be done.
Yes.
And for someone like me running a nonprofit that directly deals with the youth, to hear him say, I doubted myself and I proved myself wrong. That's a statement that a lot of kids need to hear. That's a statement that a lot of kids need to understand. I thought like that. And if he proved himself wrong and became something that I'm pretty sure he didn't envision this level of success. So for him to actually say that and know that there are youth in my program who think that same way. Now I have, because a lot of times with youth, when you deal with them, you need to point to proof. Lip service is very, very cheap these days. But now I can point to Yvng Swag and say, he made it.
Right.
I can point to Yvng Swag and say, he's on TV. He's on commercials.
That's right.
He's an influence. I can point to him and have kids say, you know what? You're right.
Thank you for blessing me. You know, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up, and the fact that I was literally their age once before, and then now, you look now, once you find yourself, find your purpose, and you could become anything, you know, it just starts with you, and that's what I love, to give the knowledge back to my fans and supporters that been watching me, you know, so young, and when they grow up, they're still kind of, you know, up and down on what they want to be. But just give them the hope, you know, and inspiration that they can do anything, you know. And as I got older, you know, once I hit like the second grade, I didn't have the most expensive shoes, the most expensive clothes, and I was getting bullied. People was picking on me, laughing at me. Oh, he wearing shoes that only cost $2. Ha 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 ha. Look at his clothes. Look at him, no money, and stuff like that, you know. I let it get to me when I was young, but as I got older, you realize that none of that stuff even mattered. You really have to just listen to your parents and listen to what God has to tell you, because that's the only thing that matters, is going to keep you going in life. You can do anything if you put your mind to it, anything. I proved myself wrong. I said, you know, being here in Kent County, nobody can make it out of here. You got to move to New York or LA. That's just a known factor that, you know, it's so small, nothing can be done.
And it was so neat to watch the interaction with you and the kids, and they opened up to you because exactly what John said. You were them once, and you said, "I've got this ability. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna take it as far as it'll take me." And look where it's taken you. Yeah. So it makes them say, "I could be that guy."
And his influence is bigger than, we know this, but his influence is bigger than Kent County. I work in Delaware also with kids doing transition out of foster homes. And I always try to gauge what I do with the youth. So I said, hey, y'all, what if I told y'all I'm doing something with Yvng Swag? Before I could explain what it was, they all went crazy. They, the song, hold on, I can whip. Yeah, whatever that song is. Man, they played that song so much. I was like, hey, y'all, for real, cut it off. I don't want to hear that. Like, I hate on him when he's around, so I'm definitely hating today. But to see their enthusiasm about that,
right.
I was like, yeah, he's touching people in the right way.
I've changed throughout my whole career when I found myself, you know. I didn't know what I wanted to be at all, you know. I was around like 5 years old, my mom told me that I was always dancing and stuff like that. But I didn't know, you know, I'm 5 at the time. I mean, I'm like, okay, might got some moves. So then, fast forward, now I'm 8 years old, I'm looking at You Got Served for the first time after the movie ended. That whole night, I was trying to dance just like him. And I realized while dancing in the mirror, I was doing the exact moves. So I'm like, yo, am I born from a boombox? Like, this is crazy. Like, I actually can dance. So I ended up showing my talents in school. So I went to school, and I remember just dancing out of nowhere. It was an assembly, and people was like, yo, you can dance. So I'm like, okay, you know, maybe this is a start. You know, that was God telling me something, but I just never took it serious. I just was doing it for fun. I'm like, okay, I mean, I could dance, you know. That's what's up. I want to play basketball. I just want to play basketball. That's all I want to be. I had dreamed, like, I was literally dreaming about being in the NBA, scoring 30 points. Like, my dream was never to be a dancer, entertainer. I never had any dreams about being an entertainer, you know? But once I found God and it really just redirected myself as I got older, I started to really find myself. You know, now I'm 15 years old and I've been dancing a lot more, but I wasn't on that path where I was dancing every single day until I really started posting videos. Once my friends told me, you should start making videos because you'll become big if you start doing that. And I believed it, I kept going, and then now, you know, you look up and it's like, wow, look what God and I did together.
Basketball.
That's what's up.